is about decreasing and increasing an amount by a given percentage. Basically, when you increase or decrease a given amount by a given percentage, all you need to do is multiply them together. So, for example, if they ask us find 4% of 80, all we need to do is just times 80 and this meant to be 40%. And find the 40% of 80, all we need to do is just times 80 by 40%. And if you type that in your calculator, you will get 32. If you want to do it manually, remember that percentage means out of 100. So we write again 80 times 40%. So we write 80 then times 40%. 40 means 40 out of 100. 40 over 100. So now you've got 80 times by 40 over 100. This is a fraction. This is not a fraction. But any whole number can be written as a fraction over 1. So 80 becomes 80 over 1. Then times by 40 over 100. Now we can simplify that. For example, here to get from this to that, as we can see, the first fraction stayed the same, but the second fraction has changed from 40 over 100 to 4 over 10. So we divided the top and bottom by 10. Or we eliminated 1 0 from the top, 1 0 from the bottom. So 44 over 10. Okay, now here again in the next step you can simplify this. Remember that you can simplify any top number by any bottom number. It doesn't matter if it belongs to the same fraction or not. So here I've got 80 here and I've got 10 here. So one from top, one from bottom. And you can divide both of them by 10. So 80 divided by 10 becomes 8 and 10 divided by 10 becomes 1. Now we've got 8 over 1 times by 4 over 1. Now you times the tops, it becomes 32, and times the bottom becomes 1. So that becomes 32 over 1. And remember, 32 over 1 is just 32. That is doing the same thing manually. Here we use the calculator, here we did it manually by timesing and simplifying fractions. Now if they ask us to increase the 80 by 40%, what we do, again, because we already know 40% of 80 is 32, so we are increasing 80, so we add 32 to 80. So 80 plus 32 gives you 112. So this is 80 divided, 80 increased by 40%. If they ask us to decrease 80 by 40%, decrease means take away. So because we know 40% of 80 is 32, so we take away 32 from 80. And we end up with 48. There is also a quicker way of doing that, and it is remembering that consider the original amount always as 100%. The original amount, like if they say increase 80, so that 80 is your original amount. All right, so that will be 100%. Now, if we want increase 80, for example, by 40%. So this was already 100%, now we are adding another 40%. So 140 becomes 140%. So then I can times 80 by 140% and I get 112. Should be 112. So that is a quicker method. Just in one step, you increase or decrease. Now, if you want to decrease 80 by 40%, Again, remember, 80, the original amount is 100%. If I'm decreasing it by 40%, so 100 take away 40 is 60%. So 60% of 80 left. So times 80 by 60%, and you get 48. That's another method, one step. Okay, a couple of examples. Find the discounted price of a 25,000 car if it is discounted by 8%. So we have a car that its original price is 25,000, and now they are discounting it by 8%. All right, so we've got to see what is 8% of 25,000. So you times 25,000 by 8%, and you get 2,000. So that is the amount of discount. So the discount is 2,000. And now take that discount away from the original price. 25,000 minus 2,000 is 23,000. So the discounted price is 23,000. That's how much you pay to buy this car when it is discounted by 8%. That was two-step way. You can also do it in one step. So again, this is the original price, 100%. Now, if you take away 8%, 100 take away 8 is 92. So you got 92% of that. So times this, the original price, by 92%, and you get 23,000, which is the same we had before. So that is method 2. So method 1 involves finding the percentage and subtracting. Method 2 is just finding the answer in one go by one multiplication. Example 2. Calculate the selling price of a $2,200 television set that is marked up by 15%. Okay, mark up means increasing the price. So this is the original price. They are increased it by 15%. Again, then you got to find 15% of that by timesing by 15% in your calculator or doing manually as we did before. So original price times by 15% gives you $330. So markup means increase. So you got to add 300 to 2,200, 330 to 2,200, and you get 2,530. So the selling price or markup price is that much for that TV set. Again, we could have done it in another way, in one go. So the original price was 100%, and you're increasing it by 15%. So 100 plus 15 is 115. So the new price will be 115% of that. So you times it by 115% in your calculator. So 2,200 times by 115%, that gives you 2,530, which is the same price we had before. Thank you for your attention.